History remembers Genghis Khan as a beast, a man who drowned the world in blood, conquered nations with fire, and built an empire on a pile of skulls. He is the father of the Mongol nation, the scourge of God. But history is lying to you. While his armies were brutal, his greatest weapon wasn't made of iron. It wasn't his legendary archers who could shoot a bird from a mile away. It wasn't his thundering cavalry that shook the earth. It was his daughters. Genghis Khan didn't just conquer the world by fighting. He conquered it by becoming the father-in-law to every king in the East. He played a twisted psychological game of chess where his daughters were the queens and their husbands were just pawns waiting to be sacrificed. The philosophy of power. To understand this master plan, we have to peel back the layers of Mongol tradition. In the brutal steppes of the 12th century Mongolia, women were not just housewives, they were warriors. They managed the camps, they rode horses, and they knew how to kill. Genghis recognized this potential when no one else did. When he looked at the map of the Silk Road, he saw powerful kingdoms surrounding him like wolves. The Uyghurs to the west, the Karluks to the north, the Oirots to the south. Fighting them all simultaneously would be suicide, so he devised daughter diplomacy. He approached these rival kings with a smile and an offer they couldn't refuse. Marry my daughter, join my family, and become my son. It sounded like an honor. Who wouldn't want the blood of the great Khan in their veins? But they didn't read the fine print. The deadly contract. Here is how the trap snapped shut. Before a king could marry a Mongol princess, Genghis laid down conditions that destroyed the king's old life. First, the king had to dismiss every single one of his other wives. He had to divorce them, banish them, or kill them. Genghis demanded that his daughter be the only queen. Second, the title son-in-law, Gurigan, came with a heavy price. The new husband was immediately drafted into the Mongol army. But Genghis didn't keep them close. Oh no. He honored them by assigning them to the vanguard, the very front line of the most suicidal battles. It was a death sentence disguised as a promotion. While the sons-in-law were marching to their deaths against the walls of China or the armies of Persia, Genghis's daughters stayed behind and took absolute control of their husbands' kingdoms, the Shield of Queens. Within a few years, the plan yielded results. Most of the sons-in-law were dead. Genghis Khan essentially manufactured widows, but these weren't weeping widows. They were tiger queens. Take Chechegan, one of his fiercest daughters. She was married to the leader of the Oirots. When her husband died in battle, she didn't just rule, she reformed the entire tribe. She controlled the trade routes, taxed the merchants, and trained her own personal army. Then there was Alakai Beki, the ruler of the Ongood. She was so powerful that Genghis Khan trusted her more than his own generals. While he was thousands of miles away burning cities, Alakai Beki sat on the throne of the borderlands, crushing rebellions before they even started. They formed a shield of queens around the Mongol homeland. Imagine a protective ring of iron ladies. Any enemy trying to attack Mongolia first had to get past Genghis's daughters. None ever did. The massacre of Nishapur. But if you think these women were merciful, listen to the story of Tumakwan. Her husband, Tokchar, was Genghis Khan's favorite son-in-law. During the siege of Nishapur, a rebellious archer on the wall fired an arrow. It struck Tokchar in the neck, killing him instantly. Tumakwan was consumed by grief and rage. She went to her father and demanded not just justice, but total annihilation. Genghis Khan looked at his daughter and gave a chilling order. Do whatever satisfies your heart. She rode to Nishapur. She ordered her soldiers to storm the city, but she didn't want slaves. She wanted silence. She ordered that every living thing be beheaded. Men, women, pregnant mothers, children, even the dogs and cats were slaughtered. To ensure no one had survived by pretending to be dead, she ordered their heads to be cut off and piled into pyramids. 3 massive pyramids of skulls stood outside the city, one for men, one for women, and one for children. This wasn't war, this was a daughter's revenge. The fall of the queens. The secret to the Mongol expansion wasn't just horse archers, it was this network of widow queens holding the empire together. By the time Genghis died in 1227, his daughters ruled a massive territory stretching from the Yellow Sea to the Caspian. They were the gatekeepers of the Silk Road. But power breeds jealousy. After Genghis's death, the male heirs, his sons and grandsons like Ogadai Khan, began to resent the women. They realized that these sisters were too powerful. Slowly, systematically, the men struck back. They started marrying off the daughters to distant, useless lands. They stripped them of their armies. They rewrote the laws to ban women from ruling. They even censored the history books. The Secret History of the Mongols, the most important text of that era, has huge sections missing. Historians believe these missing chapters contain the achievements of the daughters, deliberately cut out by their jealous brothers. Conclusion. And, coincidence or not, exactly when the daughters were removed from power, the Mongol Empire began to fracture. The unity was gone. The shield was broken. Genghis Khan proved a fundamental truth. You can conquer a world with sons, but you can only keep it together with daughters. Today, we know the names of the Khans, but the names like Alakai and Chechiagin have been erased by time. But now, you know the truth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the dark side of history, hit that subscribe button. The past is full of bloody secrets, and we are just getting started.